Hello, everybody, and welcome to Maggiora Park. It is the 70th edition of the Monster Energy FIM Motocross of Nations presented by Fiat Professional. It's an early live studio show today on MXGP TV. And joining myself, Paul Malin, and Jeff Emig, who's our guest again this weekend. Later on in the show will be Gautier Paulin, Jeffrey Herlings, and Ricky Johnson. Jeff, welcome to Maggiora Park for the latest edition of the Motocross of Nations.
The atmosphere here already is just off the charts. Of course, this is 30 years now since the Team USA, the dream team, if you will, with Johnny O'Mara, David Bailey, and Ricky Johnson dominated the event. And, you know, it's 30 years also for the current format that we run. When before that, it would have been the Trophy Donations and the Motocross Donations. And so a lot of nostalgia with this race this weekend, a lot of past champions and everyone on hand. The atmosphere is pretty incredible, and it's only Saturday morning.
Well, it's just after 9:20 here, local time in Italy. The ballot for the draw for the gate picks for the qualifying races is taking place currently. We will have that information for you as soon as we get it. But as you said, Jeff, 30 years on from that historic day, 1986, when the dream team of Rick Johnson, David Bailey, Johnny O'Mara, we said it in our track preview the other day, put on a riding clinic for the rest of the world to see. They went first and second in every single race. Great to see them here as well, by the way, because you know they're lapping it up, aren't they?
Yeah, and the fans have just acknowledged them already. We had dinner the other night at the restaurant Balmoni that's on top of the racetrack here. And you could just tell that there's really something special in the air. And one thing that's really unique about the racetrack here at Maggiora Park is that basically the first half of the track is pretty much like it was 30 years ago. And there's been quite a bit of changes to the second half of the track. But the main drop-off, that main first drop-off, Saltone, I forget the name, but that's still there. It's the same as it was. And so I can tell, being a rider, that if you had the whole shot in one of those events, like let's say the first moto tomorrow, and you drop off there, and the fans are going to be absolutely packed. As a rider, this track is you're going to feel like the fans are right on top of you, and that is just such a great motivation. Well,
we've seen it before. Gautier Paulin, we'll talk to him in a moment. He had an epic battle with Tony Cairoli here in 2013, and the crowd got behind both of them, you know. I've just had a message come through here. We haven't got the full rundown in terms of the ballot, but France, the defending champions, get fourth pick. They will go to the line fourth.
That's a good pick.
That is a very good pick around here. Team USA.
Well, just let me have it. You're smiling. That must mean it was bad.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. 30. They're going to be all the way over to the right-hand side.
Yeah, and so just to clarify for everybody, so for the qualifying race today, your gate, so gate 1 would be the gate on the left. If you picked one today in the ballot, that is your gate, not first pick.
Yeah.
You have that gate. So Team USA, you said, was 30?
30.
So that's pretty far on the outside.
Yeah, and let's just verify here as well, or just kind of, you know, reiterate. It's not the team managers that are picking the numbers. It's the FIM. They draw out of the hat. It's like almost like a football draw. You know, they take the ball out of the hat, open up the ball. The number of the countries in there, you know, with the number that they go to. So, as we said, France will go to the line fourth. Team USA, 30. GB, get 9. That's all right.
Yeah, anywhere inside that top 10 or 15 on the inside of the start there, I would think would be a good pick.
Australia, who are a good top 5 contender here, they've got gate 6. The Netherlands with Jeffrey Herlings, 32. So they're to the outside of the USA. And Team Belgium, 31. So Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, Brent Van Donnik, Kevin Strybos.
And Belgium has more podiums in this event.
54 or 56 in the history of.
Yeah.
So anyway, Jeff, as we said, the Dream Team are here this weekend, but 1 or 2 modifications to the track. You rode here recently in June. What did you think to it? Because it's the first time you ever came here as well, let's not forget, when you rode here in June.
Yeah, well, I'll just talk about the second half of the track where they've extended the track in a few areas, added some more jumps. When I rode here, those jumps were really kind of peaky and new, and they were still trying to massage the changes in the track. Now that we're here this weekend, you can see some of that has been widened out. Some of it's been kind of mellowed out a little bit. And I think that the track's going to have a really good flow. One thing that was really interesting is that they've done is the soil here is really hard packed with a lot of rock in it.
Yeah.
And the track owners spared no expense at putting in the very best effort that they could for this facility. They pulled out all the stops, and they actually brought a machine in that dug into the dirt about 6 inches and ground up all of the rocks and any of the soil to make that top layer of the track, take all those big rocks out, and make a nice fluffy surface. So we were walking the track a couple days ago. It just looks amazing. The riders that I've spoken to are really excited about what they see, and that's when the riders are excited about the track, that's when they just lay it all on the line and give us a great effort.
Well, I'm just getting the rest of the teams here. France, we said, are 4. Switzerland, they're in 16th. Where is Germany on here? Germany are 35, something like that. So Team Malin look like they've got the last gate pick, 38.
Ooh,
so
that's going to be rough. That's an uphill battle right there.
Absolutely. And so just to give you some idea as to where the teams are. But yeah, going back to the track prep, there are machines, as you say, that just grind down the rocks and, it almost turns it a lot softer. And so we do have a good topsoil base. It looks like they've brought in a lot of topsoil, but it's just the way they've prepped the track.
Yeah. And what's unique about this track is that it's in this valley, right? And so the spectating is kind of split around the Balmoni restaurant on top. The track kind of wraps around the sides there. But with the amount of spectators that we expect here, which could be record crowd here at this event, is if we hit that number, this racetrack is going to be, it will be standing room only. And like I said, for the rider, it's going to feel like that the fans are literally right on top of the racetrack. And, of course, that just creates just an epic atmosphere.
Well, we'll talk more on the track a little bit later, but our first guest is in position and waiting to come in. So before we meet Gautier Paulin, riding for Team France, let's take a look at what happened at Herlings, the 2015 edition of the Monster Energy FIM Motocross of Nations. Here's highlights from race 1.
It was an explosive start. MXGP and MX2. 40 riders blasting down the start straight into turn 1. And it was number 7, Justin Barsha of Team USA, who grabbed the foxhole shot. The roar of the French crowd urging on their home riders, but they were just inside the top 10. Gautier Paulin on board, making rapid progress in 5th place. Barsha led though. Ben Townley was in 2nd as Paulin looked to make more progress. 3 riders fell, including Todd Waters, while Paulin got stuck halfway around the lap. He ran into the back of Valentin Guillot, but didn't lose too much time. His teammate Marvin Musquin, though, was on the charge and already in 3rd place. And the French fans were in euphoria. He then caught Ben Townley of New Zealand to jump into 2nd position, and then set his sights on the American, Justin Barsha. Barsha made a slight mistake. He hit neutral in one of the tight corners, and that allowed Musquin into the lead. The 2 riders then traded positions on more than one occasion, whilst Gautier Paulin lost the front end, took Max Nagel with him, and fell from 5th place down to 7th, which is where he would remain. Barsha tried another move down the inside of Musquin, both riders making more than their fair share of mistakes. Barsha eventually found his way around the outside in the narrowest of gaps. Another mistake from the American allowed Musquin through once more. This epic battle going on and on. Musquin wondered if he could hold on. Barsha doing all he could. Eventually his opportunity came at the end of the start straight, and on lap 11 he was through once more. Musquin tried and tried, but it was all to no avail. He got it wrong over the jump, cross-rutted and went down hard. He lost 2nd position as Bobryshev went by, and later in the race Max Nagel of Germany also found his way past the Frenchman, who eventually came home in 4th place. But it was plain sailing for the number 7 of Justin Barsha and Team USA as he cruised to victory in race 1 ahead of Bobashev, Nagel, Muscan and his teammate Jeremy Martin.
So that was race 1 from last year, and when you see those images, the crowd, the atmosphere, absolutely just epic, just mind-blowing. And a person who was part of that French team, the winning team, Gautier Paulin, Team France, joins us now. Welcome to our Motocross of Nations studio show here with myself and Jeff Emig.
Good to see you.
Thanks.
Good to see you. We've just had the ballot. Not a bad gate pick for Team France, 4th. You will go to the line for the qualifying races. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, I've been on my way right now, so you just told me right now my place. So this is great anyway. You know, we have the quality to make it better. So of course we want to be a little better, but it's already a good game going on, and no, definitely happy to be here in Majora at the Motocross of Nations.
Let me ask you real quick on the. You've had a chance to look at the starting gate. What would be an acceptable gate for these qualifying races? Is it the first 5, the first 10?
Oh, the first 5 or the 5 is the maximum.
On the very inside to the left?
No, not really. Like on the very inside, you know, you can choose because your first, second, third, fourth, or 5th to choose your gate. But then if you need to think about or myself or my teammate, you know, if he's going on in the gate like 20, it's good. If he's 25, then it's a big step and it's too far.
Yeah.
So for sure, like on the inside, you know, we are not too worried. It's more on the outside.
But for the qualifying race today, it's fine because gate 4 is only one rider.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Give him the news about the rest of the teams on the outside. Yeah.
So Team USA 30.
And Australia's out there.
Yeah, we've got
Switzerland.
GB go 9, Australia 6, Netherlands 32, and Belgium 31. Just to give you some ideas, so you know where you are now in the qualifying race.
Yeah, we are looking, you know, at ourselves, and it's always good. We have the quality to make it better. Each team, you know, so definitely it's not definitive. You know, we need to work out good, and but force for sure. It's something they give us, and the luck is with us, so it's great.
Once again, Team France arrive as the defending champions, but coming into Italy, is there less pressure than maybe there was last year, where you had the home crowd, home nation, or is it the same?
It is the same, you know. When you go like home crowd, it's always great, you know. Riding in France, you could see all those images was awesome, and here in Italy, it's gonna be crazy good too. You know, the track's looking awesome, and we still have the same goal. You know, we start with 0 points, like each team, and just we need to write a good story about it, and now we have our chance. We just need to make it happen. So there is no pressure, but there is a good pressure. You know, it's always the end of the season, so Motocross of Nations is a great bonus. We are here just to enjoy, you know, and here to do good for our country color, and really happy to be here. I remember the GP in Majora. The crowd was crazy, so I can't imagine. I think we can't imagine how it's gonna be. This is great, you know. Small places like this, it's gonna be different and great.
Well, obviously, this is a place you know and like, and you've got good memories here. But let's get back to the Motocross Nations 2014. And the last couple of years, this race has been great for you in particular. Latvia 2014. It's where you took your first victory. I guess that first one is always special, isn't it?
Yes, that first one was always special because especially we did you know try to get this title and couldn't make it, and until this day where everything went well. You know, I just from the first practice till the last moto, I've been on the top of the board, 1-1-1-1-1, and was the perfect weekend. My first, because I did my perfect Grand Prix weekend the year after. I never won both moto in a row and quali race, so this was my first one of my career, and for my team, and also my teammate like Steven Frossard riding open, who won his class, and Dylan Ferrandis, who finished third of the MX2, starting from far away. Yeah. So that day was really special, and the first win for the French, the second one, but the first one with the USA team. So was just awesome, was great.
Just really quickly, you got a new teammate this weekend, Benoit Paturel. How cool it is having him on the team, because I know you two are BMX buddies.
Yeah, you know, Benoit is cool. He's like a kid. A dream came true for him because he was watching at us and Romain, myself, and now he's part of the team after a great season. After the crash of Dylan Ferrandis, you know, who in Switzerland when he gets injured, and Benoit was reserved, so directly he came in the team and he was surprised, and we told him, but this is your place, you know, you came at the stage with us, working with us, riding with us, and this is why, you know, and he's really happy right now. He can't wait to go on a bike, so we just tell him, okay, now come a little
Calm
bit,
down.
calm down, yeah, because there is a 40-minute practice, and normally it's 20, is always wide open, so now it's 40, easy, just do your job, do your best, enjoy your weekend, now it's the good time.
Just let's talk about Erne last year. Everything about it was big, the crowd, everything. But how nervous were you last year, be honest, going into it?
Be honest, you know, it was tough because when they asked me if I wanted to ride a motocross of nation, I was injured with my knee. And I've been thinking about it, and if my response, you know, was a yes, it was a yes, 100%.
Yes.
And then I couldn't go around, and then I give them a yes because I really believe in that team. Romain was incredible on that day, and Marvin was riding so good in the US, and I felt that I could be part of it to make history, and then it was tough, but it was more tough on Sunday because there was more rut, and it wasn't easy, but we make it, and. You know, it was for me. There was not really pressure. It was just that I signed for it, and now this is my mission.
Okay. And what was that excitement like? The victory celebration on the starting line and on the podium. It lasted forever. It never. The race had been over for an hour and a half, and it was still. Everyone was going completely mad. I was up on top of one of the buildings watching. Just, I mean, what's that feeling like? It's just they wouldn't. The fans never stopped.
To make it quick, you know, from the presentation on Saturday night, when everyone say Gautier and all the crowd, Paulin, and then Romain, Fèvre, and Dylan, Ferrandis, everyone was like a war, you know, with all the army on the front, and was like, wow. And then on Sunday, I think everyone from the public, from the riders, from every also team, you know, wanted us to win just to see how the crowd could get crazy, and we did it. And then on the podium was like never stop, everywhere French flag, and it was just like it gives me
chicken
skin. Yeah, it's
goosebumps.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was really a good moment, I think, for sport.
It was fantastic. Even when after the press conference. And then coming through the paddock on the back of the pickup truck, you know, the fans were just outside.
We jump, like Romain said, I want to jump in the public. Come on, let's go. We're in the mule, and then we jump in, and then everyone was like, we were just on the top of the crowd.
You were like stage diving.
Yeah, they were like
crowd surfing.
I was just scared with the medal, you know, like with the trophy. How can you say it in English?
Yeah, the medal.
Yeah, the medal. I was just scared that it will hit someone. So I was like this, and it was just wow. It was a good moment, really.
Well, look, we've got a couple of social media questions because we are almost out of time. 9 minutes has gone like that. Amazing. Eric Witches, you spent the whole winter at the Baker's factory training. What is the biggest difference in that training, and what is the biggest gain that you've got from it?
The biggest gain has been the routine, you know. In the US, with the good weather, you don't have many you don't have to change your schedule, you know. You wake in the morning, you go and do your sport, then you go to the track, which is a Aldon's private track. So you just go there, make your moto. There is no amateur rider, so everything depends. It depends from you. You know, if you crash, then you can get injured, but you don't have some amateur rider on the middle. So also the track gets really bumpy, but by the good way, you know, good lines and fast line. And then after you make your gym, and so everything is really compact. Everything it's good, and you just stick to the program, and that's really easy because of the weather in the US and because of Aldon's facility. So this was great, and also going cycling and at the gym and riding sometimes with the guys. It's also different, you know, than to be alone. In Europe, every rider goes a little bit where follow the good weather. So this was the main. The main power of this compound.
And finally, MX Justin, how important is race strategy to win the Motocross of Nations?
It is really important because you know you like this morning you just pick up the gate and you don't know, it's just, you know, like some luck you need to have, and so then from that now the weekend start, and then you need to choose the good people on the good gate, like or you put the 450 or you put the 250 on the inside, depending of which team put which rider, you know, on the inside to put the best place. If like the rider can ride up front, or if the rider can come back really strong, which rider needs some rest in between motos. Like I'm riding open, you know, so I'm gonna have just 40 minutes in between both moto, and then also good line. It's an individual sport, and now we need to exchange lines, so you know we need to speak about it. So it's kind of strange, but it is the strategy is just to share and to enjoy your weekend, to give your best, because in the end you need the best result from each rider to make it happen, and this is the way just to make your to be at your best and enjoy, because there is not many times that you can ride that race.
All right, well, look, we're out of time with Gautier Paulin. Gautier, have a good
for having
weekend.
me.
No problem.
Thank you.
Good luck, my friend.
Yeah, thank you.
Before we meet our next guest, which should be Jeffrey Herlings, hopefully he's waiting in the green room there. Let's see what happened at Ernée. Here's highlights from race 2.
A hard charge down the start straight saw the number 9, the American Cooper Webb, grab the foxhole shot as Dean Ferris crashed on the exit of turn 2. Jeremy Seewer was buried in the pack. The number 3 of Romain Fevre was well placed, and his teammate did well to avoid a slight problem as Jeremy Van Hoorbeek almost landing on Mathis Caro. Cooper Webb led. The number 12 of Dean Wilson of Great Britain. The 6 of Van Hoorbeek was in third, and Romain Fevre, though, was soon past his fellow Yamaha rider and into third and going after MXoN and Webb. First, he had to deal with the number 12 of Wilson, who made it very difficult for the Frenchman. But his time came, and with that pass, he was into second. All eyes were once again on the battle between the American and the French. Julien Lieber of Belgium came in. He had a crash, bent the front disc, and was out of 9th as his teammate was doing all he could to try and pick up some points for Team Belgium. MXoN and Jeremy Martin, the French and the American rider, were banging bars, but MXoN found his rhythm and found his way past the number 6 of Van Hoorbeek to get himself into third. Meanwhile, Fevre found his way past Webb to take the lead. MXoN was well placed there in third position, but could do nothing to close down on his teammate Romain Fevre or Cooper Webb, as Jeremy Seewer struggled in 10th. Cooper Webb fell whilst trying to keep onto the rear wheel of Fevre, and that allowed MXoN to close in on the American, but Webb responded and pulled clear of Marvin MXoN. Romain Fevre, though, was victorious in race 2, Webb second, MXoN third, and France were closing back in on the Americans.
So Jeffrey Herlings joins us now. Normally we'd say Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, but this weekend the team, the Netherlands. And Jeff, welcome to Majora. Welcome to the Monster Energy Monster Energy Motocross of Nations, presented by Fiat Professional. It's been a while since we saw you. 2012, Lommel. I guess you're really, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, missed a couple of seasons with injuries, shoulder, then the femur, then the hip. So we're fully healthy right now and happy to be back here. I mean, it's an awesome track, and once again, very pleased to be here.
How was the team presentations last night? It was pretty loud, pretty crazy. You know, you've not been a part of that for a while.
I missed it. I definitely missed it. It's so cool to be at this event. It's so big. It's like even the GP would say, oh, it's just a big event. But then when you come here, it's even pretty much double. Like so many people, so many fans. So it's really amazing to be here. And it's a race I definitely didn't want to miss.
Well, as we said, the last time we saw you was in Lommel, 2012. I guess a lot has happened since then, hasn't it? You touched on it a minute ago in terms of your injuries. How frustrating has it been for you not to be able to ride for the Netherlands?
It's been tough. I mean, obviously our main priority is to win World Championships, and the destination is just like a bonus race. But you know, being there on Lommel and winning that event individual, obviously it's a track that really suited me well, and I love that track. I grew up on that track, so it's been pretty amazing. I went 1-2 there. Obviously, second moto crashed with the start, and that's why I probably didn't win that moto. But still, you know, we did good as a team. Finished 4th. I think it was one of our best results in a long time. And now we're coming here to Majora, and really looking forward to it, and try to make the best of the situation.
So then you rode a 350 in the sand there.
Yeah.
Now your your 250 career's over.
Yep.
MX2's done in the rearview mirror. Now you're going on to MXGP.
Yep.
So you're going to ride the 450 this weekend, right?
Yeah, definitely.
On a hard pack track.
Definitely. Obviously, you know, since then I was a bit smaller. I was 17 years old, I think, maybe just barely 18. But now, you know, even though I'm still 22, but I got some more fat, I think, and I've been growing and some more muscle, so I got a lot of weight. And I think the 350 development stayed a little bit the same, and the 450 I've really been working on. So I think that suited me better for the moment. And it's also the plan to race 450 next season. So that's why I'm on a 450 as well this weekend.
Well, your team, Team Netherlands, look to have a good, solid team. The last time you were on the podium, or the nation was on the podium, was Lirop in 2004. What are the expectations here? Are you contending for the podium, realistically, honestly?
I think some teams maybe didn't have some of the best riders, and some teams have some injured riders. So I think that gave us possibilities for hopefully maybe a 3rd place in best case scenario, maybe even better. But I think we shouldn't plan. I mean, it's a race you have to do with 3 riders, and we all 3 have to do well, and we're just gonna look moto by moto and see how it turns out. But I think if everything goes well, we hopefully can get into 3rd place. That would be a dream coming true.
And let's tell him who his teammates will be with.
Yeah, Brian Bogus and Glenn Koldenoff. So
Yep.
Glenn he knows anyway from the MXGP side of the awning, but Brian's a good friend of yours.
Yeah, good friend. We spend a lot of time together. He actually lives like 20 minutes away from me, so we do a lot of training together, and we're good friends. The same with Glenn. We all live really close, and he's in the same team. We're all on KDM, so we're all good friends, and that's good for team building as well. We all try to do our best and give the best of ourselves and try to put ourselves in the best position possible.
Well, we can't let you go without talking about clinching your 3rd world title in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Big weekend for you. I guess it was a massive relief, wasn't it, after what's happened the last 2 years?
Yeah, when I crossed the finish, I was like, oh, did I really have to wait for that for 3 years? I mean, like, and even was like a crazy battle with me and Cooper. I mean, Cooper was there at his home race actually with his home fans, and then
pretty close to his home, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, pretty close to his home, and then all the American fans, they were like screaming for him, and I was like,
That was a great shot.
That was a great shot, just like such a long sweeper, and we both didn't let off the gas, and then that was the pass for first moto, and also for the championship. I mean, even if he would be in front of me, it didn't matter for the championship, but I mean, I wanted to become world champion in style, and I think that's what I did. And I mean, Cooper was really good. He was really fast at the track, and I mean, but still, to win your world championship with a moto win at that time was pretty sweet.
What did you think to the track there, actually?
I think it was really good. Obviously, Glen Helen suited me better. I really like Glen Helen. It's wide. It's a little bit more sandy, rough. This track was pretty flat and easy because, you know, it was only a one-day event, 2 short practices, and went straight into racing. So the track was still pretty easy going, but still, I really liked the track, and I enjoyed it a lot.
Obviously, that was your your 3rd world title. The 61st Grand Prix came a week later, but obviously the 2 of you, Cooper and yourself, riding 450s this weekend. Now, a lot of the media and fans, I guess, and Jeff's probably one of them as well.
We're just fans. We just love to see where both of you riders are at in your career. It very much mirrors each other, right?
Yeah.
Cooper has gone from the 250 title at home, the 250 titles, just like you have here in Europe and around the world, and now moving up. Yeah, so
it's pretty sweet. I mean, obviously we're not riding in the same class, but end of the the 3rd moto of Sunday we'll be racing against each other, so that will be pretty interesting. But I think he'll be really good, and I think he's a very talented kid, and obviously he's been showing he's a champion for a reason. If he was bad, he wouldn't win a 2-time Supercross championship and then a national championship as well. So he's good, and I think we both only spent a little bit of time on the 450s, but that's no excuse. We're both going to do our best, and we're both racers. So I think even though we both aren't like really settled on the big bike, we'll still try to go out and do our best.
Well, I mean, personally, looking at the lineup of the teammates that you have here with Brian and Glenn, I had a lunch, had a coffee with Glenn yesterday. you know, Brian's been really solid here lately. I know that it's been a long time since your country. It's been 04, right? Since they've had a podium. But I think that it's very talented. I think you guys should have high expectations.
Well, I was going to say we have a social media question on that at the moment. Rudy Van Buren, first of all, what's your way of recovery in between motos, especially here, since you're in the open class, with a shorter rest period between motos than usual?
We actually don't really have a break, because once you get off the bike, you have, I think, 45 minutes to max an hour to get back to siding lap the moto after. So it's like literally taking off the clothes, take some water, take some energy drink, take maybe some quick food, what makes you not going to throw up. So and
quick food, he doesn't mean McDonald's, by the way.
I don't make McDonald's, but like maybe some rice or fruit or chicken or whatsoever, something what's not so heavy for the stomach, and then put on new gear and get back to the starting line. That's pretty much it for the weekend.
Eric, England 111. Have you changed your riding style on the 450?
I had to.
Oh yeah, why? How?
Because I was like on the rear fender all the time, 250 just wide open. I could put that bike anywhere I want. And then I got back to the 450, and
it's like,
it was like riding a wild horse, man. It was incredible. I said to the guys like, hey, with 250, I was always begging for power. I said, now give me the most maximum power you got.
So give me less power.
Now I'm already asking for less power, yeah. Because oh man, it was like unbelievable to ride. Like it was so fast, but like the trainer was still okay, but to race that bike, ooh, that was sketchy because I didn't race.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've talked to most of the race team, the engine developers. They'll say, yeah, on the dyno, we can make more power, but most riders, they choose not to use that on the 450.
Yeah, definitely, because when I said I want the most power, I was like, they were like, oh, are you serious?
Sure.
And then I was, bring it on.
He comes in like,
yeah. And then after one practice, I was like, oh, could you maybe take like 3 or 4 horsepower off, maybe, possibly?
Yeah.
And then
that's a lot.
Yeah, give me a production bike.
Yeah, give me a production bike. That's fine. Nah, it didn't work out that way, but we had a lot of fun. But definitely, yeah, we had to make the bike a little bit more calm. I think on the sand, you can have a bike with a lot of power, but on the hard track, you know, when it's hard and slick, you cannot use the power anymore.
Final question, and then we are going to relieve you of your duties today. Mick Rademacher, is this Dutch MXoN team a team that can win the nations? Maybe if not now, sometime in the future.
Maybe yes. I think when we were on a Motocross of Nations in Lommel, for example, I would definitely say we had a possibly winning team. I think for being here, I think if everything goes super, super, super perfect, then maybe we could win, but that's not reasonable, I think. It's not, I wouldn't say it's not possible, but that's just too high for us. But I think to be 3rd place or 4th or 5th, that would be, if everything goes well, that would be possible, yeah.
All right, Jeffrey Herlings, we are out of time. Wish you and the Netherlands
good luck.
Thank you so much.
All the best this weekend.
Thank you.
Good to see you back here as well.
Yep.
Right, before we meet Ricky Johnson, let's see what happened. Final race of the year at the 2015 edition of the Monster Energy Motocross Nations from France in Aunay.
Charging down into turn 1, Ben Townley getting under the good start just behind the Swede, Philip Bengtsson, who got the foxhole shot. It was a frantic first few corners as Bobryshev and Paulin battled it out. Bengtsson almost landing on there by the number 3 of Romain Febvre as Townley got himself into 2nd, and a mistake from Paulin. Townley made that pass to take the lead, but not for long. And it wasn't until he got to the top of the hill that the Kiwi eventually found his way clear of Bengtsson. And at the same time, Romain Febvre of France moved into 2nd position. The French were well placed. The Americans not so. After their 2 hole shots in the first 2 races, it was starting to fall apart for the Americans as Febvre took the lead on lap 3. He couldn't shake off the challenge, though, of Ben Townley. Kenderdijker for Belgium, suddenly getting the Belgians back into contention for a podium position as Barsha put in a hard charge as well, coming through the field. Dean Ferris made a great start. He was up as high as 4th for Team Australia as Barsha found his way clear of De Dijker. He got his teammate behind him. He allowed Webb to close in as he was the faster of the 2 Americans, but then Webb made this mistake from 6th. He stalled the bike, lost a lot of time and possibly some momentum to get himself on the rear wheel of Gautier Paulin for a crucial point in the closing stages of the race. Romain Febvre couldn't do any more than he was doing, and Gautier Paulin was circulating inside the top 5. He made a great move on Ferris to get himself up to 4th place. As Barsha also found his way past the Australian, and then he fell. Paulin and Barsha banged bars, and the American eventually went through on the number 1. That was one more point clawed back for Team USA in what was coming down to the final laps of this final moto. Febvre still struggling to stay more than a couple of seconds clear of Ben Townley. Got on the gas in the final stages of the race and pulled clear to win. Townley was 2nd, Barsha 3rd, Bobryshev was 4th. But more importantly, Gautier Paulin crossed the line to take 5th, which was enough for the French to take victory for the 3rd time, and a successful defense of the Chamberlain Trophy and the Monster Energy Motocross of Nations. The French stood proudly on the top step, flanked by Team USA in 2nd and Team Belgium in 3rd. What a day for the French, and what a great advert for motocross all over the world. Team France are the Motocross of Nations champions again.
Well, that was just 12 months ago, and what a great occasion it was. Ricky Johnson joins us now, and Ricky really needs no introduction. He's won Grand Prix, he's won national motocross titles, Supercross Championship, 5-time winner in the Motocross of Nations.
4 times.
4 times for Team USA, and great to see you back here at Maggiora Park, because 30 years ago, this is what made it famous, the Dream Team. Yourself, Johnny O'Mara, and David Bailey, when you went 1-2. How does it feel to be back?
Almost surreal. You know, I watched the race, and it's making my palms sweat, because I remember, you know, that's one thing. Once you're a motocross racer, you're always a motocross racer, and you go from being a racer and a fan to just a fan. And so, you know, seeing Jeffrey Herlings come in before me and the other riders and stuff like that. But to be here at Maggiora, where we had such a great day 30 years ago, not just because the Americans did so well, but that was the very first time that they ran this format, having the team work together instead of, you know, 4 500s and 4 250s. So it was a great day for America. It was a great day for racing, and also for Giuseppe Luongo, who's now the king of GPs.
I thought you were going to come in there, actually, but no.
Yeah, that was actually Giuseppe's first race that he promoted. Was this event 30 years ago, and a lot has changed since then. We had dinner the other night at Balmoni on top of the racetrack there, and what's it like to not just to be back here with Johnny O'Mara and David Bailey, your families, everybody's here, but that it's 30 years later, and that the fans in the industry are recognizing the performance that you three riders, along with your teams, put on that day. What's that like?
Well, it's always a pleasure to come to Europe, you know, and you got to kind of bulk all of it, because, you know, Jeff, in America, they forget about you. I mean, they've already forgot who Ryan Villopoto was in a certain way, and it's sad. I mean, it breaks my heart, because I'll go to a Supercross, and there'll be a couple old guys. They'll come out and go, yeah, I remember your race and this and that. But here, there's people that remember you. And it's not just me, but they remember David and Johnny, and they remember Roger DeCoster and Jeff and all the teams and everybody that comes. And it's not just the Italians; it's the people from Great Britain or from Belgium or France and stuff like that. So to be here and to be respected as a sportsman, because you guys both know how much of your life, 100%, everything you eat, how you sleep, everything that you do is to be the best racer in the world, the best that you can be. And when it's over, when somebody just shrugs you off like it was nothing, it breaks your heart. You know, it really hurts. So to come here, to answer your question, to be in Maggiora, to have Stefano and Paolo and the family just welcome us and say, we love the heritage of motocross. It's great to be a part of it.
Well, look, we need to just fly through these things a little bit quickly.
Sorry.
Of course, you weren't. No, it's fine.
With the three of us, that doesn't happen.
Okay, actually, Yanis, can we have another 5 minutes on the show?
Exactly.
You were part of a dominant era for Team USA. But the last time Team USA won was back in 2011 at Saint-Jean-d'Angely. But there's a certain romance about it this weekend, isn't it? 30 years you guys are here, the Dream Team. It could happen. It looks like it might be on.
It could be, because what I love about this, and I'm a fan, and once again, I'm a fan. I want to see the racers race.
Yeah.
I want to see a fight. Yes, 30 years ago, we were a dominant team because it was the perfect storm. We came from motocross and supercross, and we had shorter motos, and guys were racing longer 500, 45-minute motos at the time. So our pace of a race, our teamwork together, we all raced for Honda together. So in the track suited more of a supercross style, the uphills, the downhills and stuff. So it suited the American style better. But today, I think you're going to see standout guys, and that's what's great about the individual golds as well. I think we're going to see a lot of different winners, but it's going to be the team that finishes and doesn't make, the one who makes the least amount of mistakes, as we were watching earlier. Webb stalled it. All these little things, you have to be perfect, even though in an imperfect world. You might get a 10th place start, but that 5th place will count.
And how do you think the guys will do around here, actually? Because what do you got? Cooper Webb, Alex Martin, and Jason Anderson, a guy you know.
Yeah, and I think Jason is a sleeper because, he was so dominant as an 80 rider. He got in, and so when you're trying to find yourself, and you guys have felt this, when you get to certain pro rank, all of a sudden you want to flex your muscle and show the world that I'm here. And I think he let his emotion get in the way a lot of times. But when Jason pulls it back one notch, he's very fast. And this ground is very similar to where he grew up in New Mexico. Hard pack, very sketchy, and so he'll do good here.
Yeah, and the Jason wasn't per se the first rider on the list to be picked, right? We had Dungey and Tomac, these guys that for whatever reason they couldn't make the event. And I've done some interviews since all of the team had been picked, and the one thing that I feel coming into this event is, whether it's Anderson or Dungey or whoever, you have to really want to be here, because this race, you have to ride with a lot of passion for this race, a lot of intensity. And so if he has the desire to go out and want to perform and really, is excited about being here, then he is the best pick. The last thing that you want is a rider that's been battling for championships all year, and he's burnt out, he's tired, he needs rest.
Correct.
Which can happen, and he's like, oh, got to do another event. Even if it is the Motocross of Nations, it's like, oh, I'm worn out. So. I think the fact that Anderson was hurt in the middle of the summer or the beginning of summer, he's now healthy again. He is chomping at the bit. He cannot wait to go race his motorcycle.
And also Alex Martin, his younger brother outshined him in the past, and now he's making a comeback, and he's very strong and unbelievably fit, unbelievably fit. And I think the smaller riding style will help him on the exits of the corners. And then also Cooper Webb, he's one of those guys that learns from his mistakes, and he'll remember those. He's probably going to think about those tonight when he goes to bed. So Cooper is so aggressive, so strong. So I see no chinks as far as physical. It's just learning the track.
Yeah. We mentioned mistakes. The biggest mistake that we saw in recent history was Eli Tomac's crash in Germany. I'm not sure if you saw it live, but we saw it, and I know we were almost out of the seat. I know we've got a clip here if our director can play it, but Motocross of Nations, he's having a great battle with Ken Rocks in Germany. And you know what? Tomac was riding on fire that day, wasn't he? He came through the field in both motos. He got himself right onto the rear wheel. And then 5 laps to go as he came out of turn 2 and up and over the Monster Hill is when he just got that back-end swap in a moment now.
Here it comes,
and that would have cost them, Team USA, the championship that year.
Yeah. Well,
just watch this here. Boom. Straight out the front door.
Yeah. And luckily, like... Chad Reed in Minnesota, he landed on the downside. It wasn't a bad injury. If at a different place, that could have been career-ending. And that's the thing. They say, the saying, from a champ to a chump in just one bump. If you do this crazy,
I've never heard that.
If you do this crazy pass,
that's Muhammad Ali, ladies and gentlemen.
So right there. So if he would have made the pass, he would have been a hero. But it shows him again. He swaps out to the side and he crashes, and so everybody's down on you.
Yeah.
But you know what though? I'm not going to fault Eli Tomac because he's going after Ken Roczen in Germany with the crowd screaming against him, and the bike slipped out just a little bit. So I don't fault a rider for trying. I will fault a rider when he gives up.
And that's the kind of thing that you want to see, the racing. We'll be back in a moment with Rick, but just a quick reminder of what we've got coming up in October, of course. The Monster Energy SMX Cup, the Riders and Manufacturers Cup. Just here's a quick reminder for you. So October the 8th at the Veltins Arena in Germany. On October the 8th, all teams have now been announced. The riders will come up on your screen now. It's an indoor motocross track in the Veltins Arena at FC Schalke, and it will be an absolutely mesmerizing event, I'm sure. You see the names on screen already. Tim Geiser riding for Honda, Paulin, Bobryshev, and Team Husqvarna, Jason Anderson, Max Nagel, Zach Osborne. And so these guys are really going to be riding for themselves, for the riders part of the Cup, and also for their manufacturers. And it will be an interesting format down there as well. And just remind you as well, 70% discount on the MXGP TV package, where you can watch everything from today and, of course, from that race in Germany live and on demand, and everything that we've had all season long as well. So you wouldn't want to miss that. You have your own little private sort of season review, if you were. But really quick, back with Ricky. Last year, Team USA came close to winning. And in fact, Justin Barcia got their first race win since Saint-Jean-d'Angely 2011.
Yeah, and that's coming as a young rider. We got 2 young riders that have never been here, and you got Cooper Webb that has been here. And what I always loved about this event is that they have to work together. They can't just be an individual. You have to think about how you start, what's going on, and everything like that, and then also support your teammate. Maybe go in and rub on that other guy. You know, rub on frustrate the other guy in practice. Do different things like that, because remember, you're not just fighting for yourself.
This was a great race, though. Him and Muscan. Muscan on the 250, Barcia around the outside on the 450. They must have passed and banged bars, what, 10 times, Jeff?
Yeah, and you know, in my experience of this event, is that even if you have a bad start, you just can't make these mistakes. Yep. Cooper Webb's stalling the engine in that one moto, that could have been the moment that cost him. Barcia, he rode amazing. Was a little bit rough at times in this next turn. He made a couple of crucial mistakes that cost him time. I think this one where he, oh no, this is the outside. But in that turn, he stalled at one time. He slid out and
hit a neutral. There was also
there was a lot of misshifts, things like that. And so, in my experience of this event, is you just can't make those little mistakes. You just, no matter where you start, you have to ride mistake-free up to whatever the best position you can get is, and those mistakes can be costly.
Well, because I remember the very first year that I ran was in Finland. My bike blew up in the first moto. The second moto, we were all in a crash, and so I worked my way all the way from last place up to 7th, and I thought we lost it. And it was that 7th place that added the points that we needed.
Yeah.
So you can't. It's not just I win or I lose. You don't know what's going on around you. And we don't have radios, and you got a chalkboard, need one more, or whatever it might be. But you have to, like you say, never give up.
And that's where the strategy comes into play. That third and final moto, Open and MXGP, that's where the guys really come together to perform for the team. We've just about got enough time for a couple of social media questions, Rick. We call you Rick or Ricky, because Ricky, when you were like in your 20s and like...
Right. Well, what happened, real quick, is there was 3 Rick Johnsons in desert racing, and they got us confused, so I went back to Ricky. Okay. That's why.
There you go. Okay, so Callahan, 810, says, asks, what was RJ's all-time favorite bike?
All-time favorite bike, 1988 Honda CR250.
Okay. Jeff, you want to get the next one? MX Justin?
That was one of my favorite bikes to say. I remember when you came out with the 19-inch rear tire, and there was something that looked weird about your bike. The tire looked thin, and we didn't know what it was, but of course,
there was actually a silver wheel, and Keith McCarty at the LA Coliseum, I ran it half the year, and then Keith McCarty came up from Yamaha and was like, that's a 19-inch tire, because it was a hand-cut tire, and everybody thought, oh, it's just a little different. But
And final question, MX Justin, was it on the list of your priorities? Was it top of your priorities to represent your country at the Motocross Nation?
Absolutely, 100%. And it was in every contract that I had, because you don't make much money coming here, and so when you race the nations, you're racing for your country and stuff like that. But I had bonuses from my factories as well. But for me to represent my country, because we have guys that all of us do have men that go to war and fight for the freedom so that we can be a motorcycle racer. Yeah. So if this is an opportunity to be an American and to defend my country, absolutely, 100%.
All right, well, look, we are out of time. 4 minutes over. Sorry about that, guys. But Ricky Johnson, great to see you again.
Always
Enjoy your weekend here in Majura.
Once again.
And who knows, as we say, the magic of Majura, the mystique, the the romance, the 30-year anniversary. The Dream Team are in town. Can Team USA stand on the top step of the podium here for the first time since 2011, or will it be a three-peat for Team France? Who else will stand on the top step or on any of the steps of the podium this weekend? Join us all for the live action on MXGPTV.com this weekend. We hope you've enjoyed our show. I know I have, and Jeff has as well. Thanks to Jeff Emig, Rick Johnson, Gautier Paulin, and Jeffrey Herlings as well. We'll see you for the qualifying races in a couple hours' time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.